NC Pork, raising the bacon, raising the bar.
Covering the state. The players. The coaches. The legends. The fans. NC Pork presents The David Glenn Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Our next guest is originally from Madison, Alabama. He earned honorable mention All Sun Belt Conference honors last year at South Alabama in a season where his 275 yards per game of total offense ranked among the top 25 players in the entire country. Now we get to introduce him as the projected starting quarterback for the North Carolina Tar Heels of Bill Belichick. Gio Lopez, welcome to the North Carolina Sports Network. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Your dad once told a story about how you ran off the field as a 4-year-old during a flag football game. Were you old enough to even remember that story now that you're standing here many years later?
I get the story told to me all the time. I remember a little bit, but I don't remember it being that drastic. I think I just did like people chasing me. But I kind of still hold that till today. I don't like getting tackled, don't like getting chased, but I try to run away from the defense.
Clearly you have turned the corner. What made you fall in love with football? Because I know for a while you were also a really good high school baseball player.
Football for me, it was just fun. That's the end of the day. You want to, it's a child's game, like people say. And it was just something I really enjoy and something I want to play all the time. So why would I not, if I can make it a career, why not focus hard on it?
I can picture you as a baseball player, but I'm not sure what position did you play and what did you like about that sport?
I was playing center field and pitcher. Baseball is fun. It's a real mental game. You got to have a good mental. Just playing baseball was, honestly translated to football and the mental aspect of things. Like, okay, you struck out this at bat, but you got to bat again. You got to keep competing, and it translates.
As a former left-handed pitcher myself, I wish I had a center fielder with your speed. You originally announced in December that you'd be staying at South Alabama. When did you change your mind, and what changed your mind?
For me, just, I love South. Coach Applewhite was amazing. I love all the boys there. It was a great opportunity to be there. But for me, you just had an opportunity to come play for the greatest head coach of all time. And it's kind of one of those situations where you can't really turn that down. And I just took the opportunity, just bet on myself a little bit.
As a young man, were you enough of an NFL fan that, you occasionally saw the New England Patriots on TV so that the Bill Belichick legend was already building in your mind long before this big decision?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole new era of men that didn't watch football growing up or didn't, pay attention to it. But I was watching football my whole life, watching Bill Belichick when he had Matt Castle, when Jacoby Brissett had to play, when he got Cam later in his career. There's all those situations of players that played for him. It's an awesome opportunity to play for him, and I've always, been a fan of football.
How did those conversations go when you first made contact with the Tar Heels?
It was pretty smooth. It was one of those situations that I feel like it was mutual. Like, I wanted to go there, play for the greatest head coach of all time, and I'm very thankful for them to want to have me there as well. So it was smooth sailing. It wasn't no rocky recruiting or I might go here, I might go here. I knew where I was going. It was a blessing to have it roll that easy.
You probably don't want to get too far into the X's and O's, but from a broad perspective for more casual fans of football, how would you describe the differences between whatever offense you ran at South Alabama and Freddie Kitchens' offense with the Tar Heels?
It's a lot more pro style. When I was at South Alabama, when we watched tape or install, it was other college teams. A lot of our installs show tape of NFL teams, the Patriots, a lot of the time as well. But just, with Coach Kitchens just bringing that NFL aspect to the offense and being more, bought in or more in control of the offense as a whole has been a new adjustment for me.
Every quarterback I've ever known, every coach I've ever known would have rather you gone through spring practice with the Tar Heels. That was not possible, obviously, because of the timing of your decision. How do the rules work in terms of what are you allowed to do after spring practice but before August practice, just to get to know the system and your teammates and all the rest?
We have player-led practices. So for me, it kind of gave me a situation where I could, be a leader already, where we, get a script and we go outside and we got offense. And I'm calling the plays. I'm telling them what the play is. I'm telling them what the cadence is, and we go out and execute that play. And, just that's been my biggest, thing I can learn from is doing that as well. We got a little bit of 7-on-7 here and there, but from an aspect of, learning the offense and like kind of taking control in a leadership role has been, PRPs for us.
I'm trying to remember how the college semester ends. Like what would have been your physical arrival in Chapel Hill? Are we talking like May?
I arrived early to mid-May.
Okay, and then from that point, there's certain things you're allowed to do.
Yeah, of course. There's so many rules to this game, but just everything that we were allowed to do that was allowed, I was able to do, and just staying in the room, the film room with Coach, and just me and with Matt Lombardi, Coach Kitchens, and just Coach Belichick as well, just talking about the offensive scheme and what they want to have executed this upcoming fall.
I don't want to get you in trouble with your teammates, so I'll give you a second to think about this. But you need dudes to block for you. So let's start with, on the offensive line, who has jumped out to you so far?
I feel like the offensive line as a whole has been great. One of those situations where, everyone has different talents. We got new faces, new names in the room. And, of course, for me, everyone's a new name. Of course, learning everybody. But I feel like as a whole, like our whole line gels really well. I think we have the luxury of being able to rotate guys. We don't just have a 5-man roster and that's it. We can rotate 6, we can rotate 7. I feel like we can rotate 8, and I just feel like it's all been thankful. And we have a good thing going on there.
In a player-run practice, is it ever like line and running backs and tight end and wide receivers, like with your actual teammate defenders, or is it more like skeleton stuff or what?
When it came to 7-on-7, I was more skelly, but when we did like on air and there's no defense, we'll go, everybody, all 11 for the offense, and we'll go out there and execute that play. I'll tell them like a imaginary front, like, hey, 4 down, odd front, bare front, over front, the defense, and we'll make our mic point calls and kind of play it.
As we let you go, in basketball, a point guard has to keep all of his teammates happy. How does a quarterback keep his tight ends and wide receivers happy?
I say the best thing you can do is, okay, there's only one ball, right? I said the best thing to do is let them know, like, hey, I saw you on that route. Hey, when we ran this crossing route, I saw you on the backside of the route. I saw you open. Just tell them that you see them and you see them, putting their best foot forward and working hard as well. And just let them know that, like, hey, you're not going unnoticed.
His name is Gio Lopez. Welcome to the great state of North Carolina. Thanks for the time on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
NC Pork. Good for the plate. Great for the state.